In this video, we are going to talk about how we can use built-in variables in our programs. So I would love you to pause this video, make a new editor and label it 1.07 and call it built-in variables. And what I want you to do is put an ellipse in the exact center of your canvas. The size doesn't matter. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about variables. Variable is a word that holds a given value. It can be a number, a string, an array, or many other types of data. Some variables are built in, that's what we're going to be looking at today, and some are custom, meaning they hold a value that you decide. The 3 or 4 that we are going to be looking at today are width, which holds the width of the canvas based on Create Canvas. Height holds the height of the canvas based on Create Canvas. And we'll come back to that. So I'm going to open up. You should have this editor. I have made an ellipse right here. And the way I knew that this would be in the exact center is you'll notice that I put 200 and 200. That's because our canvas was 400 by 400, like our standard canvases are, which meant that if I wanted it exactly half height, I would do half of 200 and half of 400. But the problem is, if I change this canvas to be 300 by 300, I'm not in the center anymore. So if we want this ellipse, make an ellipse that is always half right in the center of the canvas, we can do that by saying make the ellipse at half the width and half the height. What I like to do is I would like to replace that 200 with half times width and half times height. And you'll see it's exactly in the center. If I make this bigger, 500 by 500, it's still in the center. I can make it have different numbers. And no matter what, it is always in the center. Now, what's also cool, just to show you what this variable is we can console.log, and I'll add a comment. Console.log is like printing or print. It prints a statement or variable to the console. This is going to be our first time using it. So I could do console.log and I could put width. And you'll notice that down here it says 300. You can ignore this number for now. It says 300 because my width is 300. Okay, I would love you to have a momentary challenge. Create an ellipse that is 1/3 of the way across the screen, 1/4 of the way across the screen, 2/3 of the way across the screen, and 3/4 of the way across the screen. Pause this video so you can work on that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is mouse X and mouse Y. Let's make an ellipse that follows the mouse around the canvas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write ellipse. And instead of putting like 100, 250, for the first X, I'm going to write mouse X. And for the second X, or the second number, the Y, I'm going to write mouse Y. Now you can see that there is something right over here. But if I move my mouse, the ellipse is following my mouse's X and Y. Something that is very important to know. Important. You can replace any number in your code with a variable, like width, height, mouse X, or mouse Y. This means if you see a number, try and replace it. Okay, here are some challenges that I would love for you to work on. Let me know what questions you have.